Tashi Dilek, welcome to Tibettv. Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society, based in Switzerland, is one of the oldest and the largest Tibet support groups, which came into existence in 1983. Today, Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society has 1,600 members, actively carrying out different activities in creating awareness on Tibet, campaigning the issue of Tibet, and lobbying around the nation for Tibet. In today's Tibettv program on Tibet support groups, we will discuss in depth the workings of Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society. For this, I have one of its members with me today, Dr. Uwe Meya. Dr. Uwe Meya is a medical doctor with specialty in neurology and psychiatry. He traveled to Tibet first time in 1981. He was the founding member of Tibet Initiative Germany in 1989 and was also president of the organization from 1991 to 1992. He is currently a media officer of Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society. Sir, welcome to Tibettv. It's an honor to have you with us today.
Pleasure for me too, yes.
Sir, I would like to first begin by asking about the Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society. Since it is one of the largest Swiss non-governmental organizations for Tibet and has members around 1,600, can you tell us about its journey and when and how did it start? And who are the members of this society, sir?
Yeah, as you said, we started in 1983, and that means it was significantly earlier than the big wave of Tibet support groups that were founded in the late 1980s. And that has a particular reason. Switzerland was the first European country that accepted Tibetan refugees shortly after the People's Uprising in Lhasa. So the first Tibetan refugees reached Switzerland in 1960. And by and by, more and more refugees came to Switzerland. So the community had grown to over 1,000 in the early 1980s. And then the Tibetans started organizing themselves in Switzerland. But what was missing was a link between friends of Tibetans among the Swiss people and the Tibetans themselves. And that was actually the starting point for GSTF to be founded, to provide that link for a cultural exchange, for exchange of history and politics and so on.
So, sir, who are the members of this society, sir?
Well, the members are really from all walks of life. So we have very young people, we have very old people from all professions. So I cannot say that there's a particular subgroup overrepresented. So it's really everyone.
Okay, sir, while reading your organization's website, I found that Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society is committed to the preservation of Tibetan culture. So, sir, can you elaborate how does your organization channelize platforms to preserve Tibetan culture?
So we have quite a lot of activities regarding the preservation of Tibetan cultures. And first of all, we are present in many cultural events like festivals, markets, where there are information booths. People are preparing momo, which are really among the delicacies here in Switzerland. We support visits from Mensikang with medical appointments when they come. There's a Tibet Film Festival in Zurich that we sponsor and participate in. Also, we have funded a Tibetan-German dictionary that was prepared by one of our oldest and founding members. That is available for purchase here. But also, most and foremost, now we have decided several years ago to give an award for outstanding work for Tibetan artists. So that award is awarded every 5 years. Last time it was 2 years ago in 2018. So any Tibetan can participate in that. So be it writing, poetry, music, design, painting, whatsoever. And the last one was awarded to a Tibetan who had redesigned the Tibetan flag by replacing the snow lions with yaks, because he said the yaks are really essential to Tibetan life. So why not put these animals on the Tibetan flag? Yeah, so that...
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
That prize will be awarded now again in 3 years' time.
Okay, sir. Apart from activities you have mentioned above, Sir, your organization also carry out lots of campaigns and lobbying for Tibetan cause. What kind of activities do you undertake, and what do you think have been the major achievement of Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society so far?
Mhm. Yeah, again, quite a lot of activities. Again, we have regular recurring activities, of course, that is around 10th of December, Human Rights Day, that is around 10th of March, the Uprising Day, where we have a flag campaign where we ask cities and communities to hoist the Tibetan flag in front of their city halls or in public places, and that received quite a lot of attention. Then we do other campaigns, like there was a group in Eastern Switzerland who had a sporting event that was indoor spinning, and that was on a mountain summit where we had recruited cyclists who did the spinning, and that was intended to alert them to the then Olympic Games in Beijing. So we wanted to reach the community of people active in sports. That was taking place several times. We had a campaign that was called Matchbox, so where it was a campaign to alert people on the self-immolations in Tibet at that time. And in that respect, we worked together with the PR agency who was really helping us to get the publicity that we need. And another campaign with influencers on social media with a similar topic. I think our biggest achievement is that we have a very lively interaction with the Tibet Parliamentary Group for Tibet that encompasses members of both chambers of the parliament. That group has been very stable over several periods now, and it is very active, so we can reach them very easily, and they launch like questions into the Swiss government, etc. Also, that group has met with the Sikyong Lobsang Sanjay several times. We are undertaking signature campaigns. Last one that received over 11,000 signatures was a campaign to protect the rights of Tibetans in Switzerland. So it turned out that Tibetans are now ranked or listed as so-called Chinese when they seek asylum, and that is new, and we're trying to raise awareness that this is not really the reality. And also we heard from Tibetans that there may be some spies now from the Chinese embassy that are molesting them. They are photographed during activities and so on. So that is a very sensitive campaign that we are running. We also have a subgroup, a working group that is called Lamten. It is a group that provides legal advice to people who are applying for asylum, particularly when they are rejected. And we are trying to take or support them with taking legal measures to be accepted for asylum here. Another one was called Balloon Tashi. This is a couple from the United Kingdom who own a big hot air balloon and is painted with the Tibetan flag to balloon festivals, and we took that opportunity when they were here that they were flying their balloon at several places in Switzerland, and also that received considerable media attention. So it is, you know, much more and beyond, and I think much more creative than just standing there and shouting paroles, but it is colorful. People see that we're also having fun with it. It's not just serious, and that gives us much more media attention.
Okay, sir. It is clearly mentioned on your organization's website that the organization is committed to help Tibetan cause based on non-violent movement and their Buddhist culture. So how significant is non-violent freedom struggle for the Tibetan cause, sir?
Well, I think non-violence and the middle path promoted by His Holiness is of utmost importance. So it is giving us the maximum credibility that we can have an organization. And we are absolutely committed to non-violence, of course. That is absolutely essential for our work in Switzerland.
Sir, now I would like to ask you a question which is very much debatable in today's time. We all know who is responsible for COVID-19 outbreak and its pandemic. So, sir, how do you think the government of world can hold China accountable for this global pandemic and human rights violation in Tibet, Uyghurs, and East Turkestan, sir?
Yeah, we believe that it will be essential and important that China allows an independent delegation into the country to make investigations both into the cause of the pandemic, and also we have lobbied together with the Tibetan community in Switzerland here various times in front of the United Nations building in Geneva to let a fact-finding mission from Human Rights Council into the country to investigate human rights violations in Tibet with an independent view. Is always rejected and disputed by China, but we are not letting loose. So we are continuing with that campaign. So that is extremely important.
Sir, one last question regarding His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's teaching. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has visited your country several times. And how important do you think is that when he says inner value is more important than materialistic pursuits, sir?
I think, yeah, this has received a lot of attention here as well. So each time His Holiness has been here, he has been giving public talks that are visited by lots of people. So usually the tickets are sold out within a few hours. And this thought is finding more and more attention, particularly among young people who are seeking some values beyond just pure wealth and materialism. That means His Holiness is very popular here in the country and is usually ranking among the persons with maximum credibility worldwide as leaders, so much more than many politicians. And by the way, also, I think he's ranked higher than the Pope currently.
With this, we are going to end today's discussion. So I would like to thank Dr. Uwe Meya for joining us, our program. Thank you so much, sir.
You're most welcome.